September 11, 2018. I'm engaged! My proposal story. It's hard to believe I'm actually writing these words right now, but I'm engaged! It's only been 9 days, but everyone knows. I'm pretty sure I told our neighbor's cat at one point. Kody and I are filled with giddy excitement and are very much enjoying the adjustment of calling one another fiancé now. I got the ring back from being resized at the jeweler's only a few hours ago, so keep in mind as I write this, I'm pausing every few minutes just to stare at this beautiful piece of sparkling art on my finger. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Kody and I booked a camping trip for the Labor Day long weekend. We left on Friday after work, driving nearly 3 hours together, and built our tent and blow-up mattress in the dark. Sounds like a lot of hard work, but we work really well as a team, and the whole night was so much fun. Once we set up, we took a walk lit by flashlight around the park. Suddenly, we stopped for a moment and looked up, only to find ourselves underneath the most beautiful, clear, starry sky. It's the kind of sky you don't see anywhere in the city. The kind of sky that takes your breath away. Instinct led us to grab each other's hands in the dark and stare up in awe. Our flashlights began to feel less like a necessity and more like a distraction, and our whisper conversation became even more quiet. Almost like we were afraid if we spoke too loudly, we might scare away the stars. I'll never forget the sound of crickets and bullfrogs that night, the smell of fresh forest air, or the way it felt to look up at the sky and think, even though there's a lot about the universe I don't know, I do know exactly who I'm meant to be with. The next day, we took an hour trip from our campground to Bon Echo Provincial Park, one that I had visited years ago with my family when I was a little girl. Bon Echo is known for its 100-meter-high Mazenah rock with a jagged silhouette of Canadian Shield that contrasts beautifully against the lake below it. My mom told us that one day when she died, she wanted her ashes spread on top of that rock so she could enjoy the beautiful view. Honestly, I don't blame her. When we got to the park, it was busy, but Kody led the way to the canoe rental, where we rented a pedal boat, the kind that me, my sister, and cousins would play in as kids. We made our way across the lake to hike up the rock, armed with all of our camera equipment. I thought we were just making a montage video of the trip, which is why we had everything with us. The hike itself was incredibly challenging. We had to stop for breaks to catch our breath, but we're continually motivated by the campers we were passing, telling us how beautiful the view was on their way down. I felt Mama's presence so strong when we reached the top. I just knew she was there, somewhere between the lake, the miles of trees, and natural landscape. It brought me to tears. That's when Kody sat next to me, took my hand, and said,
"Finally, I can tell you what this trip is all about."
He started to pour his heart out to me. He told me that he started planning this months ago, and about the night he asked my dad for permission to marry me.
"I know that this is where your mom wanted her ashes,"
Kody said.
"So since I've already got your dad's permission, I want to do this here. To ask for your mom's permission first."
My heart started to beat out of my chest, and I couldn't fight back the tears welling up in my eyes. It was honestly the sweetest, most heartfelt, and loving moment I could ever imagine. And it was our story, right here, right now. It was the easiest yes of my life. And after that, my memory gets hazy as I was still in shock. I fumbled to remember which hand the ring goes on, let alone which finger, and somehow found the strength to stop myself from shouting, "I'm engaged!" from the cliff top, which would have scared the daylights out of anything within a 10-mile radius. We spent the rest of our afternoon enjoying the park, and I called my dad on our way back to tell him the news. It was a moment I'll never forget. With tears of joy staining my cheeks, I struggled to simply say the words, Dad, guess what? I'm engaged. I'm so happy. I'm just so happy. I can honestly say it was the perfect fairy tale engagement. Everything about the proposal was thought out and heartfelt, and that's how I know I found the one. Even the decision to get on one knee was planned. Kody didn't. Instead, he stayed right beside me like he always has been, eye to eye, a true team. Believe me, I know how lucky I am to have him and that he picked me. I couldn't be happier or more ready for us to share the same last name. And that's why I've made it my goal to spend our engagement working just as hard to prepare for our marriage as I will for our wedding. Of course, I'm incredibly excited for our special day that we're planning for in 2020, but A wedding is just a day. Marriage is a lifelong bond that will change the way we live and love, and I'm going to keep my focus on that. The ring. Kody and I have never been ring shopping before because I always knew I would love anything he gave me as long as it came from the heart. Kody picked a round, white gold halo featuring a cluster of 7, one of our lucky numbers, stunning diamonds, lined by a fine band with even more diamonds. When it comes to jewelry, I'm a minimalist, and I prefer a blend of classic and trendy. This timeless ring was the perfect choice, and he did so well. So now what? Right now, we're savoring in the newness of being engaged and have let ourselves get swept up in the excitement of it all. Soon we'll be meeting with a travel agent to discuss the possibility of a destination wedding and see if that's the right choice for us. We already know a few small details, like it will be a secular ceremony filled with love, and we have also opted for no bridal party for the big day. As for all of the fun and exciting stuff, dress, flowers, colors, and theme, well, you're just gonna have to wait and see.